Hello and welcome to a day in 15 minutes UPSC Prelims Daily Current Affairs by Ekam IAS. Today is 3rd December 2019 and the topics for discussion are the Hornbill Festival, Blue Flag Certification, Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board, particularly vulnerable tribal groups, Mitra Shakti, Integrated Road Accident Database, Hand in Hand 2019. So these are the topics for the day. Coming to the first topic of the day, which is the Hornbill Festival, also the Festival of Festivals. Now there is a news because the 20th edition of the Hornbill Festival has actually begun in Nagaland. Now talking about the Hornbill Festival, this festival was established in 1st December of 1963, but the first festival was actually conducted in the year of 2000. Okay, as I told you earlier itself, this festival is actually celebrated every year in Nagaland, and it is usually conducted during the time period of 1st to 10th December. Now this festival is organized by the State Tourism and Art and Culture Departments of the Government of Nagaland, and understand the basic aim of this festival is to revive and protect the rich culture of Nagaland and display its extravaganza and the traditions of Nagaland. Now this festival pays a special tribute to the bird hornbill, which is most admired and revered bird in Nagaland for the Nagas, for its qualities, alertness and the grandeur that it carries. Now the Hornbill Festival actually provides a colorful mixture of dances, performances, crafts, parades, games, sports, religious ceremonies. A lot of things are mixed together in this Hornbill Festival. Okay, now we'll come and talk about the Great Indian Hornbill. Now the Great Indian Hornbill is actually one of the largest members of the Hornbill family, and this bird is actually distributed along the Indian subcontinent and the Southeast Asian region. Understand the Great Indian Hornbill actually is a state bird of both Kerala and Arunachal Pradesh. Coming to its IUCN status, the bird is actually placed in the vulnerable list and is also in the Appendix 1 of CITES. Okay, it's in Appendix 1 of CITES, and the major reason why it's threatened is because of loss of habitat. So this is the major reason. Now coming to the next topic, which is Blue Flag Certification. Now the Blue Flag certification is actually in news because the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has actually embarked upon the program of Blue Flag certification for selected beaches in the country. Understand, MOFCC has actually selected 13 beaches as the pilot beaches for Blue Flag certification in the country. Okay, we'll come and talk about Blue Flag certification now. The Blue Flag certification, or the Blue Flag, basically is an international award presented to well-managed beach with excellent water quality and environmental education programs. Now the certification is issued by Foundation for Environment Education or Foundation for Environmental Education. Okay, FEE. Now there are a few criteria that has to be met for getting these Blue Flag certification. A few of them are water quality, safety, environment education and information, the provision of services and general environmental management criteria. Okay, this award is given to beaches, marinas and sustainable boating tourism operators as an indication of their high environmental quality standards. These are the reasons as to why this Blue Flag certification is actually given. Now this award is issued on an annual basis to FEE member countries. Understand, there are 77 FEE member countries. Now coming and talking about FEE, or Foundation for Environmental Education. The FEE is actually a non-governmental, non-profit organization promoting sustainable development through environmental education. It mainly conducts 5 programs. Okay, these are the Blue Flag, Eco Schools, Young Reporters for the Environment, Learning about Forest, LEAF, and finally Green Key. Now this Foundation for Environmental Education was actually established in the year of 1981, and it is headquartered in Copenhagen, Denmark. Now coming to the next topic, which is Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board. Now we'll start this topic by talking about city gas distribution. Understand the purpose of the development of the city gas distribution networks is to increase the availability of cleaner cooking fuel. Basically, that is talking about piped natural gas, and also transportation fuel, which is compressed natural gas, all throughout the country. Now, this city gas distribution will help in supporting government's various clean energy initiatives like ethanol blending, compressed biogas plants, increased LPG coverage, and introduction of Bharat State's 6 fuels for automobiles. Understand, natural gas is a form of CNG which is 60% cheaper as compared to petrol and 45% cheaper as compared to diesel. Now we'll jump into the Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board. The Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board was constituted under the Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board Act of 2006. Now this board protects the interest of consumers and entities engaged in specified activities relating to petroleum products and natural gas, and to promote competitive markets in this sector. Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board is the authority to grant authorization to the entities for the development of city gas distribution network. Now, this board identifies the gas agencies for the development of city gas distribution network depending upon the natural gas pipeline connectivity or natural gas availability and technological and commercial feasibility. So, all these different areas are considered, and after that a certain gas agency is given the work. Okay, that's all for this topic. Now coming to the next topic, which is particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Now, this PVTGs, or particularly vulnerable tribal groups, these are the most vulnerable section of our society. When I say that, I mean they are few in numbers. They don't have any. They have not attained any significant levels of social or economic development. So they're very secluded. The most vulnerable even of the tribal group sections. Okay. Now in India, 75 such groups has been identified by the government of India. In 1973, the Debar Commission had actually created the primitive tribal groups as a separate category who are less developed among the tribal groups. And that in 2006, the government of India renamed those particular primitive tribal groups as particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Now there are a few characteristics of PVTGs. Now they are mostly homogeneous. They are small population. They have relatively physical isolation. They are highly isolated. Okay. Social institutes actually are cast in a simple mold. They're simple social constructs, absence of written language, relatively simple technology which they use, and very slow rate of change. These are the few characteristics of particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Coming in talking about the development of PVTGs. Now understand the Ministry of Tribal Affairs is implementing the scheme called Development of PVTGs. Now the scheme actually covers all the 75 PVTGs for the activities like education, housing, land distribution, agricultural development, construction of link roads, social security, or any other innovative activity meant for the comprehensive socio-economic development of the particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Understand, under the scheme, the state governments submits conservation cum development plans on the basis of their requirement to the central government, and then there is 100% grants and aid which are made available to the states as per the provisions of the scheme. Now coming to the current affairs capsules, under current affairs, the first one we have is Mitra Shakti. Understand, Mitra Shakti exercise was first started in 2013 and is conducted annually as a part of the military diplomacy and interaction between the armies of Sri Lanka and India. Understand, it's a military exercise between the armies of Sri Lanka and India. Coming to the next topic, which is Integrated Road Accident Database. Now, the Ministry of Roads, Transport and Highways has actually decided to take up a project which is called Integrated Road Accident Database, which has funding from the World Bank. So this is what you need to keep in mind. World Bank is funding this project, okay, which is being taken up by MORTH, Ministry of Road, Transport and Highways. Now, the main objective of this project is on-site collection of accidental data. They are going to collect that through an app-based software and analyze the data for identification of black spots, dark areas and other accident-prone areas. Okay, that's all for this topic, and coming to the last topic of the day, which is Hand in Hand 2019. Understand, the 8th Indo-China Joint Training Exercise, which is called Hand in Hand, has a theme of counter-terrorism, under the United Nations mandate and is scheduled to be conducted in the place called Umaroi in Meghalaya. Now, the aim of this exercise is to practice joint planning and conduct of counter-terrorist operations in semi-urban terrain. So that's all for today. If you have any doubts or queries, you can write down in the comment section below. For additional information in different areas, you can please log into our Current Affairs Plus website, which is www.neoiasgap.com. So that's all. Thank you. Good night.
So please like, share and subscribe to our channel for more videos. Follow our website neoiasgap.com for the detailed content and monthly prelims digest. Also join our current affairs exclusive test series through the website. And finally, participate in the daily current affairs prelims infotainment quiz at our Telegram channel, that is Neo IAS Prelims, at 9:30 p.m.